This is why TV presenters, radio presenters, whenever they come online on air, you will hear stuff like, I feel so excited today. They will smile. But man, hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we'll be talking about a very important aspect of personal development, which has to do with movies. Yes, I was speaking with a friend of recent, so she told me how she has always been unproductive because she spends a lot of time watching movie with her phone or television or going to the cinema to see a movie. Then I thought about the importance of sharing some of the things that I do with movies with you, and I believe it's going to help you and make you to be more productive in those hours that you spend entertaining and enjoying yourself. Now, let's first of all talk about the importance of watching a movie. I'll just have three importance to share with you, and then we dive into many other things that we have to talk about. I believe this is going to interest you and teach you many things in many ways. I'm very sure of that one. So, the first most important of watching a movie is for you to get exposed to other people's experience, their culture, their way of life, which will help you connect with people around you because you meet different kind of people every day, even in school, at work, in the church, and every other place that you go to. Now, when you are watching a movie with the intent of learning, it's going to help you look into those cultures, make you to understand why people act the way they do, why they are different, and this in turn will help you relate with the people around you correctly. Do you understand? The second importance is that movies have a way of motivating you, inspiring you to get to work, set your goals and pursue them. Here is another year. Most of us needs a kind of motivation to move on with our life and the rest. Some of the movies that have given me that kind of energy, movies like Triumph, yes, Triumph. Then movies like Akila and the Bee. I always want somebody, maybe any child, especially within that age range, and including myself. I learned a lot from that movie, and that's why it's still right there in my phone. Okay, now the third importance of watching movie is just to relax your muscle. Maybe you have been stressed out from the day's work, you just needed to rest. So many people find it interesting to like rest, relax, just ease yourself from the day's work with movie, and this is very, very understandable. The only mistake and the error in all these things is that most of us end up focusing on this last, that's the third advantage, forgetting the first and the second advantage. And for you to gain from this first and second advantage, you have to come to that point of intentionality. Do you understand? You have to come to that point of, okay, I'm watching this movie, yes, to enjoy myself, but I also want to learn. So when you face it with, I want to learn, definitely you will pick one or two things that you will learn. At a point, I was interacting with one person. I asked her, how far, what do you like doing? She said that she cannot even explain what she likes doing. But one thing that she knows she likes doing is to watch a movie. I began to take her through some of these things that I'm already saying here, on focusing on not just to watch that movie, spend close to 18 hours and more in watching seasonal movies, but then look into learning. Come to that point of, I'm watching this movie to learn, and you are not just learning. I always tell people that care to kind of listen that there is a difference between knowledge and applied knowledge. You need to come to that point of applying those things that you are learning, those things that are coming to you as knowledge. You need to apply them into your life. You don't just end up learning, going through training, listening to many things, jotting down points even while watching a movie, and at the end of everything you are not practicing any of those things that you have written. You are not practicing any of those things that you have learned. That is where the mistake is. Now, I would want to share with you my recent movie, the recent movie that I just watched. That should be last month that I watched the movie. And I was able to learn close to 17 points. And let's say 16 points. I will be sharing with you guys those 16 points. I might not really have to talk about them in detail because I wouldn't want this video to be too long for you to watch. But then these points that I listed, they are things that I know you can also apply into your life, because when I started making those notes as I was watching that movie for the first time, I even said to myself, I'm going to watch that movie again, maybe the second and even the third time, because it was just so interesting. I was able to learn a lot of things, and I believe the more I watch it, the more I will still understand more secrets, more things that I did not really look at when I watched it for the first time. I might not really give you details of the character and the rest of them because I'm not here to do a movie review, but I will just give you some of the points that I was able to learn during my during the time that I watched this particular movie. So I'll be looking down from time to time to just read it out exactly the way I wrote it. But trust me, it's going to be interesting. You will learn a lot from it. The first thing that I have here is Nanisca. Okay, the people I might mention here is just Nanisca and Nawi. There were other general lessons, but these two, they are just the main people that you might hear me mention their names. So if you have not watched the movie, try to watch it. And I think this movie is not on YouTube. I tried to look for it at a point. I just got tired. I got discouraged because I saw the trailers and everywhere. It was just everywhere. Clips, some little clips of the movie was just everywhere. I felt like, wow, how can I see this movie? I went on YouTube. I looked for it. I couldn't find it. But then a friend told me about Netnaija. That was where I got the movie. I downloaded it. So if you have not seen it and you might want to watch the movie, you can also try to go to Netnaija, follow the instructions there, include the name of the movie that you want to download, and that's all. So the name of the movie I want to talk about today is The Woman King. Like I said earlier, I'll be talking about Nanisca and Nawi. Basically, the two names I will mention. The first lesson that I wrote down here is that Nanisca lived a selfless life, a life for others. She did not just live for herself alone. And most of these points actually are things that I would say I already know to an extent, but it's coming as a kind of an encouragement and a reminder for me to know that, see, you are on track. Just keep up this thing that you're doing. Continue, go on, and you will see the reward of it and all. Do you understand? Now, this first point, I now wrote it down again. I connected it to myself. I said, I am to live to be a help to others and not just for myself alone, understanding that destinies are attached to my own. So if I do not rise, it will be an error because it's going to affect many other people. Now, this made me to remember the mentorship program I told you in our last video that we organized. There was this connection I started having with people, having to answer their questions. If not that I brought myself out to give them that platform or give them that avenue to know that, see, oh, there are some things you can ask me and I have answer to you to the glory of God. We can talk about it and it will also help you. Do you understand? So these are things that made me that I wake up every morning. I'm not just being concerned about myself alone. I'm trying to also remember that, see, I'm not living for myself alone, but for others. The second thing that I wrote down is that kings will sort for you if you are a person of value. Just like the story of King Solomon and Queen of Sheba. A whole Queen of Sheba, she left her own palace to come and see another king because she had that this person has something. There is a value, there is a content in this man's life that I need to go and witness. That is the same way that king of that community, he was able to connect and sort for Nanisca's a kind of suggestion, her contribution before he takes decision. It is not everybody in that community. It is not even everybody in that, maybe among the warriors, that he had that kind of connection with. Do you understand? So I came to understand that kings will sort for you if you are a person of value. So what you need to work on is not just your beauty alone, the physical outlook, but think about working on your content. Think about building yourself from the inside in order for your words, when you open your mouth to speak, people will be like, wow, this person is a person that has something I would like to connect with, I would like to relate with, and the rest. The third thing here we have, he says that you earn respect, you don't fight for it. I believe this is well explained. You earn respect, you don't fight for it. Next here is that be prepared to speak with confidence. Open your mouth, be yourself, and speak to others or even your boss with confidence. There is nothing like speaking with confidence. Even when you feel nervous, you are afraid of that person, but let the words that are coming out of you come with a little strength. A little strength, yes, it has to come with strength, because if it did not come with that strength, people will not really know what or who you are at their first interaction or visit with you. I remember then when I went through my mentorship, my first online mentorship program. Then Elon Musk was recognized as the richest man. The news was just everywhere. So one of the examples that we were taught with is that, let's say for instance, you eventually enter the elevator with him. Can you give a 10 seconds speech that will make him want to employ you? So you know that kind of a thing, you will feel nervous, you will feel tensed. Wow, look at who I have here. Will you be able to speak? Let your words come out with confidence in order for him to listen to you. And this was what happened in the life of Nawi. Nawi spoke with Nanisca, even though Nanisca, she was the woman king herself. She's somebody that everyone respects. But Nawi, the confidence that she spoke with Nanisca for that first time made Nanisca to notice her. So the next point that we have here is that as a leader, you keep training. As this is something I learned from the life of that Nanisca, she never stopped training. And this is exactly how we should be in our own life. You wouldn't say, oh, I've arrived, I've gotten there, no more nothing. No, no more nothing. There is nothing else that I have to do. I need to now relax. I've gotten to where I want. There is no end to this journey. That is why we believe that personal development is a lifelong process. You keep learning every day. The day you stop learning, that is the day you start dying. That is the day your brain is no longer processing, because you are not learning anything again. But it is surprising for you to also know that even apart from reading, there are other means that you can learn. You learn through observation, you learn directly or indirectly. But then the point is that you need to keep learning. And that is more like the same thing that we are saying here. You need to keep training yourself. You need to keep building up yourself. Let's go over to the next thing that we have here. It says, never discriminate. Don't discriminate anyone. You say that this one is my own people, this one I don't know you, I cannot relate with you. You never can tell how that person you don't want to relate with can be a stepping stone for you to get to where you want to be tomorrow. This world is just this way, there is always a way of it revolving around us, connecting. You'll be like, wow, we met somewhere, and let it not be that meeting you shielded yourself off from that person, and now you need the person's help. So don't discriminate, because you don't know where you're going to meet the person tomorrow. Let's go over to the next one. It says, it takes discomfort doing extra in order for you to be extraordinary in life. You don't sleep when others are sleeping. You stay awake to do the extra. Wow, this is just so powerful for me. I love this particular scene. In the life of Navi, I remember that night, every other person was sleeping. She went out. She was still training, learning how to use this one. She was learning. She was doing her practice. Like, wow. No wonder that's extra in the word extraordinary. Now, you can be ordinary or no problem, but you see, if you want to be extraordinary, you have to go that extra mile. If you are still at ease, being comfortable, sleep when others are sleeping, do what you want, just at your comfort, the level of you being extraordinary is 0.000. I don't know. Now, let's go over to the next thing that we have here. It says, don't question authority in public. This is important. Most times you might be right in that thing that you want to say, but learn how to send a message to that authority, or then try to connect or question that authority privately. Don't question, give correction to somebody that is higher than you, especially your boss, somebody that is in authority over you. Don't question that person in public, because the way it's going to end, you might not like it all. Before we proceed, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, do well to do so. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe, and then turn on your notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Let's continue with what we are saying. Now, the next thing that we have here is that vision is seeing what others could not see. What separates you from the rest is what you see, and you pursue it, and you are doing it, and others might not see what you are seeing. And that is why people will always tell us that you don't try to carry everybody along. You people should accept my vision. This is the vision that the Lord has given to me. You have to accept it. Most times they will not believe in that your vision until you keep growing. You will not even know when they will start coming. Wow, this one is making sense. Let's go and connect with her and the rest of them. But then you should understand that vision is you seeing something that others are not seeing. Now, for you to go far without your vision, don't try to carry others. Don't try to push them. You cannot do it alone, quite alright. But look for those people that understands your vision and want to work with you. Don't force people that are not ready to even kind of work with you and go through the process with you. Now, the next thing we have here is that if you find out what someone did to be successful, you have to do that. People like my Mori of blessed memory, these are people that have shared their kind of secrets on how they were able to succeed, how they were able to make it, how they were able to go that extra mile beyond their background. They were able to do more. And these are things that we can learn. Okay, he said he did this one and he did not do this one. That means I need to do this one and I will not also do this one. He said he slept for so hours. That means I need to sleep. He said he was able to write down so thing. Because you also want to succeed, you have to write down so thing. You know, like this year now, many people have written their resolution, the things they want to achieve, and the rest of them. Do you plan, or did you also listen to the people that have succeeded in those things that you wrote down? Because they also succeeded, what did they do to succeed? This is exactly what you have to do in order for you to succeed. So you see what I'm saying? There are many things that we can learn, and these are some of the things that will help you in your own life. And this is why I believe that movies can also enhance your personal development, especially when you watch with your mind and not just watching it for watching sake. I want to enjoy myself and the rest. Let's go on with what we have here. It says that a person of value can also teach the elder or a leader. So you see that the point I'm trying to make here is this: it is not about your age. I believe so much in this word that says that at the age of Methuselah, it has nothing to do with the wisdom of Solomon. So it is not about your age. It is about your content. It is about what you have. This is what's going to set you high and give you that opportunity for leaders and even for that your boss to learn from you. You begin to see that you don't struggle for them to learn, especially someone that is wise, like a leader that is wise. That person will be calm enough to pick the wisdom in what you have said, or to pick the wisdom in what you have a kind of acted on, and they also want to do it. So that is why I said that a person of value can also teach the leader. Do you understand that point? Now the next thing says, don't take emotion to the battlefield, to your work, school, or a place of presentation. This is why TV presenters, radio presenters, whenever they come online on air, I mean, you will hear stuff like, I feel so excited today. They will smile. But man, you never can tell. Maybe they had quarrel with the husband or the wife before coming on stage, but they are telling you they feel so excited. They want you to understand that the emotion they are passing across to you viewing them is that you should also feel excited because they are excited. But had it been they carried the wahala from home and they came, they will be like, oh, so today we'll be talking about something, you know. I beg, this thing don't tire myself. You know, that kind of, the person will be angry, the person will be murmuring, the person will be, but when you hear them speak, you hear that they don't, you will notice that they don't come with that emotion, that way they are feeling. They just dropped it at the door. for them to give us the best. Do you get that point? So you don't go to the battlefield, you don't go to that place of your assignment to work with your emotions. There is a place of dropping it and focusing on what is facing you now, and do it. When you go home, you continue, you try your best to settle it before coming out. Now, the next thing we have here is that what you learned from a mentor or a senior person or a senior friend, add your own unique spice to do it better. Now, I gave an instance here. I said, now we use the rope to hold her knife to fight something that no one has ever done. In that particular scene, they were fighting, like everybody was just fighting. Even the Nanisca, that is the woman king herself, that is fighting everybody. But now we diversed a unique means. She had to use the rope and she connected it to the knife. She was just fighting with it. Wow. To me, I felt like this is it. And the way she was just doing the whole thing, I was like, wow, man, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. And even though she learned from the best, she added her own spice in order for her to make it unique. So even as you are learning from elders, you are going through training, you are trying your best to apply what you are learning, look for a way to spice up your game, to add your own unique voice to it, and not just what they have said. I don't know, I believe this is clear enough. Now, the next thing that we have is that you should fear not, face it head up, fight relentlessly. This is just it for us. This, for instance, this year did not promise us that it's going to be all rosy, and we know it's going to be like everything is going to go as we planned. Today we want to do this, tomorrow we are going to do this, next tomorrow, like we have already written it down from January 1 to 31st December 2023, or any year that you are in. But then you should remember that what life brings to you, you need to come to that point of facing it relentlessly, because life is just like a battlefield. We are all here like people in the battlefield, and life can also be seen as people in the marketplace. Life can just give you a variety of things, but you should know that we fight to live on. You don't just relax and say, okay, I'm going to do it this way and it must be that way, and if it did not go that way, I'll go and rest. No, you have to continue. You have to face that. Even when fears are holding you, can I still do this? Are you sure I can still continue with this? You should not get yourself discouraged. As far as there is life, you need to keep your hope high that I'm going to go through this, I will come out of this and still be victorious in it. Now, the next point that we have is that it is very important to know the place of family, and also for you to put them first in all things. Family is very important. I have seen so many people destroy their homes because they connected more with their work, their business. They don't even have time for their family. They don't have time for the wife. They don't have time for the husband. They don't have time for the children. Some men will even tell you their own is just to make money, or is the wife's own. The wife's own is just to raise the children. He doesn't want to have any connection to do with the children. Even when he goes on business trip, the children will not even ask the mom, where did our daddy go? Because to them, they don't even know whether he's around, fine, whether he's not around. But we need to come to that point of remembering that family is our first ministry. As far as you are married, as far as you have a child, as far as you are, even apart from being married, as far as you are born into a family, your parents are there, your siblings are there, remember them. Have that connection and work with them. This is very important. I saw this from this movie, and it made me to know that yes, is a kind of an encouragement to me particularly. Keep going on, just keep doing what you are doing. Even if it's 100 naira credit that you can afford, you can send it to your parents. Let them know that you are there, you love what they have done for you, thus far they have built you, thus far they protected you from harm and all of that. Try to connect with them. And lastly on our list here, we have, there is power in your mind, and if you understand it, you will be limitless. Wow, I think this it really covers a lot for me. It really means a lot. That is why I will always encourage people, especially whenever I'm having a kind of one-on-one coaching section with anyone. The first thing I will always start with is your mind. You need to come to that point of understanding that you can only if you believe in your mind that you can, and you can't if you believe you can't. There are many things that I begin to see myself do today. I'll be wondering, is this really me? Years back, let's say 2 years ago, yes, we just entered a new year, so let's just say 2 years ago I did not believe I can, but here I am now. I can, and the future is still bright, and there are things that I might be feeling now I can't, but now, because I have come to the point of building myself to believe I can, that means I don't have limit of what I can actually do. That means if I put my mind to it, I can do it. If I believe I can, that means I can. I think this is very simple and self-explanatory. So, with some of these points, I believe you have been able to learn and understand you can be productive in watching your movie. So it's not as if I'm encouraging you to spend all your time watching a movie and all of that, but I also want to just let you know that you are not completely unproductive watching movie. It depends on how you approach it. It depends on, have you come to the point of putting cinema in your mind, in that mind of, I'm watching this with my mind. I am not just watching it for watching sake, or I'm going to the cinema to see a movie and it's connected in my mind. I want to go home with a lesson. I don't just want to entertain myself alone. I want to go home with something. It is that understanding that will change the narrative for us. But if you are doing it like every other person is doing it, man, you don't expect to have a different result because this is how they are doing it. But then if you want to be productive and be more channeled to the area of your personal growth and personal development, you see that every opportunity you have, you look for a way to reconnect it to be productive for you, and to reconnect it for you to gain from it, and not just spend all your time wasting it and kind of coming back to cry that I wasted my time, and that is it. Above all, it is not about knowing something, it is about applying the things that you have learned. It is not about writing it down on paper, it is about practicing it. It is about practicing. So as time goes on, once in a while, you can make it a point of duty to look out to those things that you have written down. Check yourself. Check how you can connect it to yourself, even as you're writing it down. Look for practical ways to bring it to reality. I hope this video was helpful. If you gain value from this video, remember to share this with someone so that they will know what we are doing here. And please, please, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell in order for you to get updated when next I upload a new video. Thank you so much for being here with me today. See you next time. Bye.